you doing? The Ministry of Health, Labor, and Welfare in Japan presented the report to the Advisory Council on the Social Security to review the social assistance system. So this report says it is unrealistic to include the condition that gives the right to go to university, college, or vocational school to children who belong to the members of a household that receive a public assistance under the circumstance that they actually receive a public assistance payment from the government. So the government emphasized that it considered the balance between households with public assistance payments from the government and general households when it presented the report to the council. And in the current welfare system in Japan, the children in public assistance household who are as old as they can go to university or college are generally recognized that they can work in society independently, and they are normally excluded from being subject of public assistance payment from the government by means of the municipal procedure of household separation. So the percentage of enrollment of university, college, and vocational school exceeds 70% of entire households in Japan now. And on the other hand, the percentage of enrollment of university, college, or vocational school from public assistance households is only 40% of entire households in Japan. So in other words, there are so many children, so many people in the public assistance households who give up going to higher education institutions because of household financial situation, right? So moreover, poverty level of low-income household including one parent's household is very serious situation because of drawn out coronavirus pandemic situation. So the number of part-time jobs for college students, university students to make a living, and the amount of salary that they can get has significantly reduced, so that there have been so many dropouts and students on leave. So in that situation, there are strong opinions to call for improvement for this situation, and changing the social welfare system from the public assistance households and public assistance support organizations with the ground that going to higher education institutions is not part of luxury thing. But I just want to talk about my opinion here. So in the first place, the stance of public assistance payments from the government taken by the government is, temporarily provisional safety net system to rescue and support those who are driven into a corner financially as seriously as they start living on the street until they can find the work to feed themselves independently. So this is a provisional measure that government prepares for those who are driven into serious situation, right? So it is pretty natural for the government to reduce one person's public assistance payment if one of the members of the public assistance household are old enough to work in a society and have a great possibility to get a job independently. You know what I mean? As a premise, I have the sense of discomfort against the situation where there are people who feel normal to receive a public assistance from the government to make a living without any questions about this situation, and the household financial situation becomes as tight as they can't make a living if children's public assistance payment is stopped by the government. So rather, I think this responsibility should be taken by parents who can't get out of the public assistance payments to make a living from the government, although they have children to feed, right? So I know there are as many serious circumstances as they they are unimaginable for me, depending on the household. But I think the way of thinking that they are asking the government for a guarantee of a living cost for those who are old enough to work in a society independently has, I think, no consistency in it. So if they want to make their children if they want to make their children go to university or college or vocational school, they have to earn money for themselves, at least to be able to feed themselves and make a living independently without relying on public assistance system from the government.